We are going to be covering the Pennsylvania Senate and gubernatorial primaries for the 2022 midterm elections. So let's get right into today's video. Now look at the midterm calendar here. We already have a few states and its primaries: Texas, Indiana, Ohio, Nebraska, West Virginia. In May 17th, which is the upcoming primaries, we will have Idaho, Kentucky, North Carolina, Oregon, and Pennsylvania. The two states that are most hotly contested on both the general election and their primaries are Pennsylvania and North Carolina. In today's video, we are going to be specifically covering the state of Pennsylvania. And we're going to be doing both the Senate and gubernatorial elections in Pennsylvania and both the Democratic and Republican primaries. Let's start with the Senate election in the state of Pennsylvania. First up, we have the Republican Party, with, again, a pretty large amount of candidates. We have probably the most well-known, Mermet Oz, a TV host of the Dr. Oz show. We have David McCormick, the more moderate candidate, against Mermet Oz, and we have a ton more candidates. We have a total of seven candidates on this race, and many candidates have been disqualified. And a lot of these candidates have declined to run in this race. Here are the endorsements here. Mermet Oz has Donald Trump's endorsement, which is probably going to basically help him tremendously. He previously endorsed Sean Parnell, who of course dropped out due to some personal life things. And yeah, so Donald Trump, Sean Parnell, who withdrawn, previously had Donald Trump's endorsement, but now Donald Trump's endorsement is going to Mermet Oz. Looking at the polling here, it is pretty close. You can see the line that's right now at first place is actually the undecided vote. So there is a significant portion of undecideds. At first it was like 80%, 75% undecided. Now has dropped, but still at 30%. So this undecided vote is going to tremendously impact the results, of course. Right now, Mermet Oz, you can see this light green line, is slightly ahead of Kathy Barnett, I believe, and David McCormick, who are in close seconds and thirds. Like this first place, Mermet Oz, and the third place, David McCormick, is like 2 points in a difference here, so it's very close. And looking at the vote right now, there are still a lot of undecideds. A lot of the others are actually just undecided voters. Look at this: Mermet Oz at 23.3%, Kathy Barnett at 21%, and David McCormick at 20.3%. So again, this race is still going to be contentious towards the end. David McCormick actually had a period in which he was in the lead, but now in the last six polls, Mermet Oz has had a slight lead. And right now speaking, Kathy Barnett has been jumping up in the polls, as in a recent poll he had 23 and 21%, which is much higher than her previous polling numbers. So yeah, that is on the Republican primary. In the Senate election, the Democratic primary, we have four candidates actually, but this candidate, I don't even know how to pronounce his or her name. So yeah, Lieutenant Governor John Fetterman is clearly favored in this race. In the polling, just looking at this, John Fetterman actually has less endorsements than Connor Lamb, but John Fetterman is expected to win. He is right now polling at above 50%, and if you're above 50%, you're definitely going to win. So even if all the undecided vote went to the other candidates, and there's only one other candidate, if you're above 50%, you're good. John Fetterman has consistently won the poll. Right now, in the most recent poll, he has over 50% of the support. In some polls, he has as low as 28%, but I'm not sure how credible as that is, because it has been quite a while since that poll was actually taken. So there were initially 5 candidates, but 2 of them realized they don't have any chance, so there's now 3 candidates, and there's another candidate. There's this person, but I don't even know who he is. No, that is one of the main candidates that is still in the race. Looking at this, Again, John Fetterman has the lead counterline in second place. Malcolm Kenyatta, I don't even know who he is in third. John Fetterman is the more progressive candidate, more socialist. Not necessarily socialist, but very liberal, very cold-hard Democrat. Caroline's the more moderate candidate in this race. And yeah, so after I've done this, we're going to go to the gubernatorial elections. My projections and the county maps for each of those races will be revealed in the end. Now for the Pennsylvania gubernatorial elections, on the Democratic primary, there is really just Josh Shapiro. He's the only candidate. There's another candidate, but he failed to get a qualify for ballot access, so he's going to get 100% of the vote. Spoiler alert, in my prediction, he has 100% of the vote. You know, he is simply speaking not going to lose. Like, he is the only person that has ballot access. And the endorsements, yeah. You don't need, because there's only one candidate, you don't really need any endorsements. You just need one vote to win. And the Democratic primary, I'm not going to be talking about the lieutenant governor's race because I just don't know too much about it. Now for the Republican primary, we of course have another very crowded primary with again this time a total of 8 candidates. And yeah, these are candidates. There have been 8 withdrawn candidates and over 10 declined candidates. So a lot of potential candidates here. Look at this. I'm pretty sure Donald Trump did not endorse any candidate right now, but Lou Barlow seems to be leading the polls. All right. Previously speaking, but right now speaking, Doug Mastriano somehow is now leading in the polls. He's leading by over 10 points according to the polls. At first I thought it was a done deal that Lou Barlow was just gonna win, but when I reviewed all the data, it does seem like Mastriano's actually ahead in the polls. This race will be also extremely interesting to watch. Right now he is polling at about 10% ahead of the other candidates. Doug Mastriano's at 25% of the vote. Lou Barletta is at 15.3%. William McSwain at 13% and Dave White at 11.3%. The other candidates, meaning a lot of the undecided vote, there's still a lot of the undecided vote that could break for either candidate. In fact, in the recent polls, besides these 3, 2 of them are conducted by Republican internal Trafalgar group. I'm not going to care about what poll it is, but just looking at the history of this race, it looks like there's still a lot of undecideds that could shape out this race. Even the most recent poll, which has only 11% undecided, if they all went for Lou Barletta, he could still win this race, hypothetically, though I don't think that is a real possibility at this point, that all the undecided vote just goes for Lou Barletta. The lieutenant governor, we're not going to be looking at that, so I've done all my explanation. Now we're on to my projections for each of these races. Now this is basically my primary coverage here. This was my projection for the Ohio Senate and Governor primaries. You can see this is the margin of error for the races I got right or wrong. Anyways, these are the projections we're going to be looking at today. First off, in the Pennsylvania Senate race, on the Republican side, I project that Maria Oz will win with 32% of the vote, followed by David McCormick at 26%. I will reveal my county map later on. Kathy Barnett at 22%. I'm not really even sure who this candidate is. Sorry for the inconvenience. Carol Sands at a margin of just 7%. Jeff Bartos at a margin of just 6%, and the other candidates at 6%. Oz, I do project, will win by 6%. Oops, here, so this is... Okay, so I basically got both of those county maps wrong. David McCormick, I do believe, will lose to Mermet Oz. Mermet Oz will win most of the conservative counties, actually all of the rural counties, all of the counties that Donald Trump won in the 2020 election, and some counties like Scranton, some other counties that Joe Biden won in 2024 will also be carried by Mermet Oz. David McCormick will do very well in the Philadelphia area, in the Delaware, Chester County area, over here, and he will do very well in Allegheny. In my opinion, that is. In the end, though, because this is a Republican primary, if this was a general election, possibly David McCormick could make this race closer, but because in a Republican primary, basically, the Republicans, really, it's the Republican primary in an area like Philadelphia would not have as strong turnout as on a general election. So in the end, David McCormick will lose by 6 percentage points. And because I accidentally revealed both county maps for the Democratic and Democratic Senate primary projection and the PA Republican governor projection, I'm just gonna go ahead and reveal them right now. Fetterman, I project, will win 60% of the vote, carrying an outright majority against Conor Lamb at 24% and Kenyatta at 11%. There's also this candidate who's gonna get about 5% of the vote, but really nothing super significant here. We all know that John Fetterman is probably gonna win. If he loses, this will be a huge shocker. But I'm not gonna bet my money on this just yet. So look at this. John Fetterman right now, 65 counties right there. To Conor Lamb's just 2 counties, which is basically his home district. Remember that Conor Lamb is serving in a district that covers Beaver County and parts of Allegheny County. That's why I think he will narrowly win that county right there. But otherwise, John Fetterman is going to win all the rural counties, all the areas around Philadelphia, and even some of these counties that are suburban, exurban. He might have lower margins because I don't think he's going to do as well with the working class. I think Conor Lamb is going to do better with the working class. John Fetterman still wins this race very comfortably. The final race I'm going to talk about, Pennsylvania's governor elections. You can see right now that Mastriano. Sorry, I just forget a lot of things. Okay, so Doug Mastriano, he's polling ahead in the polls, and I'm just gonna go with the polls, alright? He's gonna get 34%. Lou Barletta, I project, will get 23% of the vote. William McSwain will get about 17%. Dave White will get about 15%. And the other candidates will get a total of 11%. The other candidates mean the 3 remaining candidates, as David Mastriano will win by 11 percentage points. This is the county map I am willing to offer here. Right here. As you can see, oops, I'm so dumb. Alright, so this is the county map I'm willing to offer here. I think Lou Barletta will end up winning a lot of the Philadelphia area just because, Doug Mastriano, I think, this is the more, I think Trumpian conservative candidate will get very much of the rural counties. Well, he might get some kind of backlash in areas such as Allegheny, and areas such as, Philadelphia, and some of the suburbs as well. I also have York and Lancaster County for Lou Barletta, just because that is where his home district is allocated. So, where his home district is located, I'm just going to put those areas in Lou Barletta's column because he is serving as the 11th Congressional District's congressman from the state of Pennsylvania. So that basically concludes today's video. Finally speaking, we still have the Pennsylvania Democratic governor primary, but we all know Shapiro is going to get about, basically speaking, 100% of the vote. Thanks for watching today's video. Be sure to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thanks for watching today's video. Like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll see you guys on the next one. And be sure to hit that red button. Bye!